My name is Ícaro. I'm from Brazil. My major is translation studies, and I'm here as a foreign exchange student.
All right. What is the food like in Brazil?
The food there is the vegetables are fresher than here, and I don't know the beans are not sweet as here.
All right. What are some of the living accommodations in Brazil that are different than America?
Accommodations.
Like, how do you had to adapt to live in Brazil if I was coming from America?
If you were coming, you would take mostly warm clothes, because at least in my region it's mostly summer. We don't have specific seasons. For example, winters, autumn is mostly summer and then winter, so it's not very divided.
What college did you attend in Brazil?
College? My college is a public one, is a federal university, one of those considered one of the best ones in the country.
And how does your college differ from Winston-Salem State University?
It's not much different. As my course is translation, there's a lot of reading involved. The same here in the case of African American studies, which are the studies I'm taking here. But also it's different, it's more mixed. And here is an HBCU, so it's mostly black African American people, and there is more divided. In most of the cases, white people.
The exchange rate in America to Brazil, is it more cheap or expensive to live in Brazil?
It's more cheap. It's cheaper to live in Brazil.
All right. What are the people like dealing with social life? Whereas, do y'all communicate through cell phones and social networks, or more so, is it easier just to communicate through talking, seeing people on the street?
Nowadays we do most of our group works throughout the web, cell phones. As the distance there are bigger, so we have to talk on cell phones, web, emails. But the public transportation there is very effective. We have a lot of buses, so it's easy to go around the town.
For someone who would like to study abroad in Brazil, what techniques or skills would you tell them to take with them to come to Brazil?
Mostly the language, because English, you only see people speaking English on the college, inside the college. On the streets, hardly you find somebody who speaks English. Also, be ready to see a different culture, because sometimes people expect a very liberal culture, and it's not like that. Some places are very conservative. It's not people dancing every day. It's not like that.
What is the political background in Brazil? Is it more Democratic Republican, or is it more of a dictatorship?
It's very democratic. We had a military period back in the 60s and 70s, but now it's very democratic and open.
Would you know the population of Brazil?
The population nowadays is 180 million. 100 million, yeah.
What were your funnest things in Brazil to do?
Funniest? Attend a soccer game, watch a soccer game. We have a lot of theaters, shows. Music there is very good. From my region, which is the southeast, is known for house-made foods. Foods are very tasty.
What program did you have to go through to come to America?
I enrolled the affirmative actions program, and the specific exchange program is called Legacy of African Diaspora in Brazil and United States, the persistent inequalities.
When you go to school in Brazil, say I was American and I wanted to study abroad in Brazil, if I wanted to do schooling, is most of the things, do they have translators for those to learn, or most of the thing you have to know the language of Brazil?
In college, mostly you would have to know, because professors, even though they speak English, most of them, but if it's a Portuguese class, for example, Brazilian literature, they will speak in Portuguese, they won't speak in English. But but most of your colleagues in your classroom, they will know English.
And my last question is, how do Brazilians view Americans?
We have this stereotype that seems that they are all white and blue eyes, but when I came here, I saw that there's a lot of African Americans, and yeah, we have the stereotype that media show us, such as movies and mass media.
And how would you say, thank you for your time in Brazil, in your language?
Obrigado pelo seu tempo.
Thank you.